Okay, today is Saturday, March 29th, and today I learned about 3 physical things that you can do to help yourself mentally. And I learned these from, there's this video I watched that was talking about a couple of these, and I tried to apply it today, and it just actually turned out to be a lot more helpful than I thought it would. So these 3 things are things that you can do when you're kind of in a rut, kind of like in the middle of the day when you're in that slump and you can't get back up to focus, you can't like bring your mood up, or just like at the beginning of your work day and you're trying to optimize it as much as possible. But I find these 3 things to be really helpful when I'm like in a rut and I'm like procrastinating something, I'm trying to get the energy to do something. So the first thing that I want to talk about is to just get moving. So I think this is something I don't do enough, but I think just like walking before you focus, like going outside and just taking like a 5-10 minute walk can be more beneficial than you think, especially if you're not having any inputs. Just walking in silence or walking with music, I think is more beneficial than you think. And it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to be outside in the sunlight. Movement is just such a good thing for your body. Like our bodies have been designed to move. So it's just so good for your body. But it could also just be like working out. A lot of times when I am like in the middle of the day and I like can't get anything done and I'm like super unproductive and it's like really bad, I will work out. And then after my workout and I shower and I just feel completely renewed and like re-energized for the day to complete what I need to complete. So I think just moving, because like the way the world lives right now is so sedentary. Like we're constantly like sitting at our chairs, at our desks, not really moving a lot. So I think just like get moving before, during, and after you work is just so good for you. Bonus points if it's outside, right? So that's the first thing that I definitely don't do enough, just walking outside. But whenever I walk outside, I just always feel so much better to get back in the house and do what I need to do, right? Like at first I'll be like, oh, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to spend this time walking because it feels like a waste of time. But I have found that it's actually really beneficial for your mental focus and abilities. So that's the first thing, the first physical thing that you can do to help yourself mentally. The second physical thing that you can do to help yourself mentally is another thing having to do with you and like your own physical movements, and that is to fix your posture. This is something that I did not realize would be so useful. I heard this in a video about like studying and focus and stuff, and apparently studies have shown that like fixing your posture helps your like cognition and your memory and things like that. And I found that so cool. And today I realized like how much I'm slouching. I'm always like, whenever I'm sitting down, I'm always trying to be in the most comfortable position. So I'm always like slouching, always in like these horrible posture positions when I'm sitting down, right? So I was just realizing like I don't know if this was like placebo or something, but I didn't want to do this thing. I needed to study for my anatomy. And I was just like sitting in this big chair, like slouching. And then I was like, okay, let me fix my posture. And as soon as I fixed my posture, I was like, okay, I felt like energized to actually do this thing, right? To actually study. And I don't know if that was like placebo, but you know, whether or not it was placebo, it was still effective, right? I tried to just do that throughout the day, and just like, this kind of goes hand in hand with movement, because a lot of times fixing my posture includes standing up. So in like, not only when you're sitting down, like fix your posture, because when you're just in a more upright, more like, I guess, commanding of your own body position rather than just like slouching, that helps a lot. And it really helped like 10-20 minutes ago when I was editing a video, and I was just like, okay, let me fix my posture. And it's really helped me feel so much more locked in to what I was doing. So not only when you're sitting, but also just like, if you're just like slouching sitting there, just like stand up and walk around. Like the other day, for some reason I decided to do school in my bed. Well, I had to read this stuff for my class or whatever. And I was doing it on my bed, and it was like making me really sleepy. Because I was just like laying down reading my book for school, and I was just like, okay, I'm getting sleepy. So I just started walking around and reading and walking around and doing what I needed to do. And it was just so beneficial. Just as a complete side note, when you're studying, study tip for students, walk around and talk to yourself, walk around and like speak out loud, like walk around when you're studying, because it is so useful. It just really helps me feel so much more energized and so much more like locked into what I am doing. So this is the second thing. Fix your posture. Stop slouching when you're like sitting at your desk. Just like have a more like in control position. Have a more controlled position. Don't let the chair control you. You control your own posture, right? And then just like walk around while you study, walk around while you work, like verbalize what you're trying to do. Like if you've done computer science at all, you might know what the rubber ducky method is, which is to just explain your problems to a rubber ducky or to someone else. To just like speaking out loud helps you process what's wrong with it, even if you're alone, similar to the Feynman technique. So just like standing up, walking around, talking about what you're doing, even if no one is there, has been one of the most beneficial like study tips, focus tips that I have done. And it's just so much more beneficial than you think, and it's so easy too. Like if you're just in your bedroom studying, just like stand up and walk around in circles. Like that's literally what I do. I just have a little route in my bedroom that I like walk around, and I just like talk about what I'm studying, talk about what I'm working through, even if I'm by myself, and it is so beneficial. So that's the second physical thing that you can do to help your mental focus, clarity, all of that. Stand up and walk around, or just like fix your posture in general. And then the third physical thing that you can do to help you mentally, and this is something more external, it doesn't necessarily have to do with you, but that is to fix your environment. Fix your environment. I don't do this enough, and I know that it is so beneficial. Like when, like on my bed, if I'm doing school on my bed, it's going to make me want to sleep, right? Like that is an environment where I would want to sleep, right? But if I am sitting at my desk, truly locked in, then I'm going to want to lock in, right? It's like if you play a sport, and as soon as you get on the field, as soon as you get on the court, it just makes you want to do that thing. It's like that. And I think this is something that I really need to integrate more into my life, and to kind of try to make different parts of my room exclusive to different things that I'm doing. So like my bed is strictly for sleeping. Maybe my desk is strictly for focus. So like focus on my editing, focus on my school, focus on whatever, not like distraction free, right? Maybe this chair is strictly for reading, things like that, right? I think that is a really good way to hack your environment kind of thing, so that each different environment is reserved for different tasks, so that as soon as you get into that environment, your brain is kind of tricked into thinking in that way, so that as soon as I sit in my chair, face my desk, and put on my headphones, I'm locked in, right? But even just like more generally, like you don't need to do that. I think just more generally, like if your desk is like cluttered with food and dirty dishes and like trash, just like clean it up first, like because that is distracting you. If you're trying to focus, you want to remove all distractions, and that includes what you can see and what you can hear and what's around you. So I think just as a more general thing, like remove the distractions from your environment. Remove the things in your environment that are giving you a certain behavior that you don't want to do, and add things into your environment that give you a behavior that you want to continue doing. So like remove it's like we all know this, remove remove your phone from your desk, and instead add your headphones or like your focus timer or something like that, right? And then the last thing I have to say about trying to make your environment better is sometimes you're just in the same spot. I'm just in my bedroom so much that you need to just change environments to do whatever you need to do. So a lot of times I'll just like go to a random coffee shop or go to the library or whatever, not even that often, but just to change up the environment so that you can not get so used to being in this one spot and not get so comfortable so that you end up not doing what you actually need to do. But if I like make the effort to like go to the library with all my stuff, then like I have to lock in. Like I'm removing all distractions, and I am like, my main goal to going there is to lock in. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense. But these are just 3 things that I've been learning over today and last night, really, about 3 physical things you can do that help with your mental more than you think they would, right? So that is moving around, fixing your posture, and just like walking around, and making your environment better, trying to hack your environment, or even changing environments if it calls for it. So that's what I learned today. If you found this video helpful, then I would love a like or a comment. If you want to see more, then definitely subscribe. This is the video that I posted yesterday where I talk about starving your attention span. You can subscribe in that corner, and if you subscribe, I will see you in tomorrow's video.